From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Former U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley makes a swing through Montana in an effort to sway Montana voters to fill in the Oval for Senator Steve Daines. And much of this region digging out and assessing the damage left by more than a foot of snow. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Monday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. So let's get right to Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. Bob, it felt like at some point it wasn't ever going to stop.
No, it just took most of the day Saturday. In fact, we actually set a record snowfall amount on the Saturday up at the airport. But let me show you how much snow we did get, not just at the airport, around Yellowstone County. This is just Yellowstone County. And you'll notice up there at Billings Northwest End, 16.2 inches of snow. That's right, Billings Heights, 15.9. Huntley and Billings West End, 15.5 inches of snow. That's correct. Over there at Acton, Broadview, and Warden, all right around 15 inches. But officially up at the airport at Logan Field, they had 9.6 inches of snow. That was quite a bit this weekend, but let me show you how much they actually had on Saturday. 5.2 inches of snow fell there, and that actually broke the old record, which was 2.8 inches set back in 1949. But now here's some news. Check this out. Here's what's coming up later on this week. On Wednesday, Thursday, could see maybe another, according to all the computer models, anywhere from 1 to maybe 5 inches of snow. I think here in Billings, maybe more like 3 to 5 inches of snow. We'll have more about that coming your way in a few more minutes. Jeanelle?
All right, thanks, Bob. Well, the weight of all that snow, just too much for a lot of trees, branches, and power lines across the region. Q2's Jeanelle Slade headed out today to show us how people are handling the problems left behind.
Well, after almost 3 full days of snow and the addition of freezing rain, the roads are slippery, power outages have occurred, and even trees have fallen. But what does this mean for people in the community? Well, to start with, Northwestern Energy is urging people to stay away from any down power lines.
We've had numerous outages in the Billings area since last night.
Perry says one of the outages came after a vehicle collided with a utility pole, but the majority of outages in the past few days were a result of fallen trees and collapsed wires. She says one of the best things people can do to help is to report the fallen lines on the Northwestern website or call it in so crews can take care of it.
I would say that our crew's priority right now, they are working hard today. Their priority is to restore service as safely as they can and as quickly as possible.
Now, as you can see right behind me, a tree service crew is cleaning up a pretty big mess. A tree actually fell from one neighbor's land onto another neighbor's house. Now, what does that mean for both homeowners?
The owner of the tree whose property is on is usually responsible for taking care of that.
Graham says that Frontier Insurance receives quite a few claims involving fallen trees. He says that in a situation where tree limbs are hanging over into a neighbor's yard, there are some potential hazards and liabilities. In Billings, Jeanelle Slade, MTN News.
Thanks, Shaq. And Graham says the insurance claims are already coming in fast. The latest this afternoon, a tree falling on a car. Well, 7 more COVID-19 related deaths to report as total active cases across the state surpass 9,000 today. The latest death out of Bighorn County, along with 3 in Glacier and 1 in each Missoula, Lewis and Clark, and Yellowstone counties. MTN now reports total deaths tied to COVID-19 reached 264. Of the 9,000 active cases in Montana, more than 2,000 are here in Yellowstone County, followed by Flathead with nearly 1,400. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic served to slow contract negotiations between the Billings School District and Teachers Union. But now the nearly 9-month process could be wrapping up. Q2's Mitch Legge has details.
Billings teachers in School District 2 have been working without a contract since the beginning of the school year, and negotiations are just about to wrap up between the Billings Education Association Teachers Union and the school district on a new contract for the year. According to an email to Teachers Union members, an agreement on a contract has been in the works since February. The pandemic served to slow negotiations, and discussions picked back up in August. The email says that the school district didn't have much money to dedicate to salaries, which prompted union negotiators to go for a smaller ask. The union is reportedly asking for a 0.5% increase in each cell of the salary schedule, along with a one-time essential worker payment of $1,500. That comes out to about $1,000 after taxes. The groups are working towards a 1-year contract instead of multiple years, due to uncertainty brought about from COVID-19. On Tuesday, the Billings Education Association's 12,000 members will vote on the draft terms of the new contract. Results are expected around Thursday. In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
And tonight at 10, Mitch will bring us a report from the Billings School Board meeting, which is going on right now. Well, just 2 weeks out from the general election, Republicans are making a late push in the Flathead Valley. Today, they brought in former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley to campaign for Montana Senator Steve Daines. MTN's Sean Wells was there.
I'm supporting Steve Daines. We've got too much on the line. Let them know they have to go vote. This race matters.
The importance of voting was in the forefront as former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley campaigned for Senator Steve Daines Monday in Kalispell. Daines was expected at the event Monday, but his campaign said he was called back to Washington, D.C. Haley highlighted the importance of keeping Republican control of the U.S. Senate during her speech. Haley was introduced to Republican supporters by Montana Governor nominee Greg Gianforte. Haley served as UN Ambassador from February of 2017 through December of 2018. Prior to that, she served as Governor of South Carolina for 6 years. Haley says Steve Daines is the perfect fit to continue representing Montana in Washington, D.C.
Steve Daines has been a great senator. He knows where he's come from. He's fought for the people of Montana in Washington, and he's shown it at home during times of COVID. And so what we want to do is see Steve Daines get back in there. It's not about just any Republican. It's about a good quality Republican, and Steve Daines is there.
Haley also made campaign stops in Hamilton and Great Falls. In Kalispell, Sean Wells, MTN News.
Democratic governor candidate Mike Cooney is reporting another big fundraising haul. The Cooney campaign announced today he raised $910,000 in the past month, pushing his total for the summer and fall to $2.5 million. Cooney is running against Republican Greg Gianforte, who has not yet reported his numbers, but they're due tomorrow. As of mid-September, Gianforte had outraised Cooney $3.2 million versus $2.5, and Gianforte had also put an additional $3.5 million of his own money into the campaign. Now, Cooney's campaign says his fundraising surge indicates a tightening race. Recent polls have shown Gianforte with a single-digit lead over Cooney. Well, Q2 is doing its part to shed light on breast cancer awareness with stories all week long. For the St. Vincent Healthcare mobile mammography coach, it's been a busy month. It was set up in the Q2 parking lot today for appointments. So since it began in 2010, the mobile mammography program is important to Montana communities amid the rising pandemic numbers.
I think having the coach and being able to travel to those women that don't necessarily want to travel into Yellowstone County in particular with a number of cases, and being able to go to their communities to reach them kind of on an individual basis is really important and one of our goals that we are striving to do at St. Vincent.
Now, staff aboard the coach are also taking extra steps to keep everything very clean and make sure appointments do not overlap. To schedule your appointment or find out when the coach will be near you, you can call 237-4373. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, a new law is passed to help veterans with mental health and suicide prevention. We'll show you how healthcare is expanding here. Plus, in sports, find out why one Billings soccer player is known as the Little Giant. Stay with us.